Over 17 years ago, a film was released in 2002 called Minority Report, which depicted a futuristic world in a time when police would be able to intervene and make arrests before a criminal committed a crime. And at the time, this is obviously the stuff of science fiction, but now it's looking like that may have been predictive programming, because here we are 17 years later, and that is now a reality. This just out, police in Canada are tracking people's negative behavior in a risk database. Police, social services, and health workers in Canada are using shared databases to track the behavior of vulnerable people, including minors and people experiencing homelessness, with little oversight and often without consent. Documents obtained by Motherboard from Ontario's Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services through an Access to Information Act request show that at least two provinces, Ontario and Saskatchewan, maintain a risk-driven tracking database that is used to amass highly sensitive information about people's lives. Information in the database includes whether a person uses drugs, has been the victim of an assault, or lives in a, quote, negative neighborhood. The Risk-Driven Tracking Database, or RTD, is part of a collaborative approach to policing called the Hub model that partners cops, school staff, social workers, healthcare workers, and the provincial government. Information about people believed to be at risk of becoming criminals or victims of harm is shared between civilian agencies and police and is added to the database when a person is being evaluated for a rapid intervention intended to lower their risk levels. Interventions can range from a door knock and a chat to forced hospitalization or arrest. So this is quite literally assessing your risk level and intervening before you can cause harm to apparently yourself or others. Now, the Hub model, according to the Journal for Community of Safety and Well-Being, is described as the following. The Hub model represents a gathering of human services professionals who typically meet once or twice a week to detect acute elevations in complex client risks, share limited information necessary to identify client needs, and plan rapid interventions designed to mitigate those risks before harm occurs. Again, this is straight out of Minority Report. This 17-year-old film, science fiction, is now becoming a reality. The Hub model was designed as an upstream, interventionist approach to community safety and well-being that would allow human service providers from multiple sectors to collaborate and around the improvement of client outcomes. Now, this brings up serious privacy concerns. I actually was reporting on this years ago because in Vancouver, as you'll see in this video that I put out back in July of 2017, titled Breaking, Vancouver police are using prediction technology for pre-crime arrests. Well, in that video, I point out exactly what's going on here in Canada in terms of this pre-crime arrest stuff, and the Vancouver Police Department ensured people that this is only being used for locations. That don't worry, this isn't like that film Minority Report. There's no cause for concern here. There's nothing dark happening, he says. We're just targeting locations instead of people. Well, now they are targeting people, so this guy was just flat out lying. Check this out from my video a couple of years ago from when this police was questioned on whether or not people would be targeted as opposed to locations.
Tom Cruise movie from 2002, I think it was, Minority Report, that was completely different because that was targeting people. If you recall in that movie, they were actually saying that you are suspected of committing a murder in 6 hours from now, so we're going to go out and get you to prevent you from committing the crime. So we're not targeting people, we're targeting locations, so there's nothing dark here.
Yeah. Don't worry, nothing dark going on. We're not targeting people, we're just specifically targeting locations. Yeah, that was 2 years ago now. And, the truth is now in. Police in Canada are tracking people's negative behavior in a risk database. So it just goes to show they can't be trusted whatsoever. Now, this obviously brings up privacy concerns. We're dealing with very, very sensitive information. As this article goes on to point out, information that can be used in a way that actually increases harm to marginalized people. And I'll include links to all of this information in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But one thing I'm recognizing here is the similarities to what we've seen in China with their Sesame credit system. And I don't know if you've seen this. This just out recently from Zero Hedge. China's terrifying social credit system has already blocked 11 million people from taking flights. Says here, China's terrifying social credit system, which is a rating assigned to each citizen based on the government data recording their economic and social status, has effectively blocked more than 11.14 million flights and 4.25 million high-speed train trips at the end of April alone. So this is people in China who are on this social credit system. Their information is entered into this app. The government assesses their social credit rating, whether they are an upstanding member of society or not. And then they determine things like if they can fly or not. So, you know, I saw a case of one man who was not allowed to board his flight because the system had flagged the fact that he had an unpaid utility bill from a few months ago. Turns out he did pay the bill, but it got lost in the mail through bureaucratic nonsense. And that's the type of stuff that this system can lead to. And I tried to point it out in a video. I literally titled it, China's Sesame Credit, a Blueprint for the West. This was released back in January of 2016 now, where I tried to warn everybody this Sesame credit system is a blueprint for the West, and that's what we're starting to see here now. And they are now starting to try to counter this and turn the focus off of them. I don't know if you've seen this just recently out from Zero Hedge as well. NSA abandons part of their mass surveillance program exposed by Snowden. The National Security Agency has reportedly abandoned part of their infamous surveillance apparatus used for the mass collection of Americans' communication records, including phone logs, metadata, and text messages. And I just say to that, yeah, right. There's no way they are abandoning this project for real. This is set in stone. In fact, this is actually part of the Five Eyes Echelon spying network, which we exposed in this video titled Watching the Watchers with Press for Truth in Ottawa, Five Eyes Echelon Spy Grid Exposed, where we show how the National Security Agency and the Five Eyes Echelon Grid are all tapped into this global policing program, which is eventually going to be tapped into the 5G spying database and the Internet of Things. It's all related. It's all coming together into controlling, tracking, and databasing everything you do to the point of being able to arrest you for pre-crimes. This is thought crime stuff. This is, again, straight out of the sci-fi movie Minority Report, which is now looking to not be science fiction at all. This is looking to be reality. So it's just something I wanted to bring to your attention today, folks. This is happening. This has been happening under what's called the hub model for a few years now. The police said this is only going to be for locations. Don't worry. All you people panicking about Big Brother in 1984 Minority Report type world, have no fear. This isn't for people. It's just locations. Well, yeah, it is for people, as we've shown today. And as we've also shown, there are privacy concerns about how they target individuals. Let's not forget the fact that they often target these individuals and then use them in their plots, with these so-called foiled terror plots that we always see all the time. Another important video I released back in 2013, Conditioning Canadians for the War on Terror, where I show you how a lot of the times these people they're monitoring, the homeless population and people like that, they will actually set up and coerce and frame and try to turn them into de facto terrorists, essentially, and then they'll foil the terror plot before this deranged individual can do anything. And you'll find out that these people were contacted by CSIS and RCMP and insiders, and it's all often a big, huge setup. So these guys cannot be trusted, and right now They want to make it so that they can literally come knock on your door, maybe even arrest you, maybe even speak to whatever government agencies you've been talking to about your issues, to try to stop you from harming yourself or others before it may happen. Folks, this is very, very scary. This is, like we said, straight out of the sci-fi movie Minority Report. It's now becoming reality, and people need to wake up to this. So, I would ask that you please click on the thumbs up button, share this video with your friends and family if you found the information to be useful, because this is ramping up very quickly, folks. I was warning about this a couple of years ago, and we're already here. This is now a reality. So we need to continue to raise awareness about this issue. So once again, please click the thumbs up button. Be sure to share this one with your friends and family. And that's it for today, folks. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Be sure to stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming very soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.